Hello, I'm Adam Ford. I've written 2 books for the Leaping Hare series on mindful living, one on silence and one on walking. First, Seeking Silence in a Noisy World, the Art of Mindful Solitude. Let me read you something from this one, and then perhaps you'll understand why I wrote it. The pleasure of silence has to be one of the most democratic of experiences, available to everyone in a noisy world, young or old, rich or poor, religious or secular. Silence is always there, hovering quietly in the wings of our lives, waiting to be enjoyed. It can be a solace in times of stress, helping to regenerate our spirits. It can also be a source of great creative energy, as artists and writers have found down through the ages. The thing about silence in this modern world is that we seem to spend so much of our time trying to avoid it. We're so busy, so active. The lucky ones are those people who have come to recognize that there are moments of silence in the hurly-burly of their daily life. Natural pauses. They've come to realize the value of those moments and to cherish them and to foster them. And this is what I want readers to be able to find for themselves. This is quite a personal book. It's about my own odyssey with a small o. It's about religious retreats I've been on, not always very successful, times I've spent on my own, walking up on the moors, times I've spent sitting in forests or walking through Africa or South America. They're about noise, and the noise in cities, and the noise in youth clubs, and the noise in families. And I write about that sort of loneliness and silence in lonely places that some people find extremely frightening. And about silence when it's used as a weapon. This is the dark side of silence, a weapon against other people. I write about times that I've spent on my own. And one of the great discoveries for me is that we can learn a tremendous amount about silence from the natural world. I have to say, as I get older, I learn to love it more. The second book is called The Art of Mindful Walking, Meditations on the Path. I found it an interesting experience writing this book because it seemed almost to have written itself. The more I thought about it, the more obvious it seemed to me what a very good thing walking is for human beings. It's good for our health, for our hearts, for our minds. It makes us fit, gives us an appetite, helps us to sleep at night. And it takes us out into the natural world. Walking is living at a human pace. Let me read you a short passage from the book itself. It's the introduction to a chapter on the long trek, the sort of walk you do when you spend a whole day and take sandwiches. A good long walk takes us beyond the horizon, several times. We experience liberation unique to walking, as countryside or town flow past us at an even human pace. That hill on the horizon ahead, the church tower, or patch of dark woodland. They all grow bigger as we approach them, and then drifting past take up a place on the back horizon, finally sinking out of sight. This continual changing of scene is one of the great delights of the long trek. Now in this book I write quite a lot about walks that I've done, in Australia, in Africa, in cities. Many people think that walking in the city is nothing like walking in the beautiful countryside. But the fact is that a city like London, where I spent 30 years, has many places for walking, on the canal banks, on the river side, in parks, in Kew Gardens. And in fact, walking in the city, you can see more beautiful trees, often, and more birds per acre than you would do in many places in the country. I write about the rituals of the daily walk and the walk to work, the pleasures of a long trek through an unknown landscape, as in Australia, and walking at night. I believe in it because I do it, and whenever I do it, I'm so glad that I've done it.